Plus I have to go post like a million of these because they're all stuck in my computer. Tech Tuesday on this turkey week. And Craig, you start us. You got a question.
Sure. I just want to know if anybody has a plumbing card they wouldn't mind sharing.
I thought I just saw, it was a handyman. Who was it? Somebody posted a handyman card or something. We can make a plumbing card. Do you have somebody to make one for specifically?
I do.
Yeah, we could absolutely do that. We were gonna do a Thanksgiving card today. But we could absolutely put together some other cards as well. Awesome. Any other random questions before we do some fun building stuff?
Not from me.
No.
Okay. I'm gonna look in the marketplace, Greg, real quick to see if there's anything on the plumbing as well.
I looked earlier and I didn't see one, but
yeah, I think your closest is going to be any type of trade service. And again, the biggest thing I think is that will change is just the visuals. You know what I mean? For most of us on this call, any good trade template, like Kathy, you were just talking about a handyman one. If you go in there and then just start swapping out the visuals where it's like, instead of a wrench, it's like the pipe wrench and, more pipes versus electrical, I think it will drive the point home. Yeah, I'm not looking, I didn't see anything plumbing specific in the marketplace.
But we can make one. That's easy. And the cool thing is we're going to make one in our corporate template account. Therefore, you guys will now know that we're making a corporate template account. So I was talking to some other people last week, the last couple of weeks. So what we've done, or what I've done, I'm creating an account that we can share out of. So it's not going to be like my account or the training account where it could get changed, because sometimes, ER's in there training somebody, or, showing something off, or Guy's in there showing something off, or I'm in there. And then all of a sudden we're like, wait a minute, I had that set up and now it's not that anymore. So what I've done is I've created an account that I can start to build some stuff in, just share the template code, and then it won't change. So it will be that just sitting in that account, and anyone can clone that template code and use it. I will invite anyone who thinks they have a card that needs to be in that one to send it to me if you want to. If you're like, hey, this is a card that I don't mind if people clone. It's something that, either I've used or I've built that I have permission to share. And then we can kind of have our own little user-driven library in addition to Marketplace. So what I was going to do today is I took last year's card, which thank you, Ruben, for posting last year's Turkey Day card. But I took it and I did some fun stuff to it for this year, and I just made it very short and simple and sweet. I was going to share that. Again, if you guys have any questions, let us know. But I'm going to go ahead. Let's see. First, let me do this. ER, I'm going to make you co-host in case something happens to my computer.
You got it.
Share screen. And I have this pulled up here. So let me move everybody so I can see what I'm doing. I don't know where to put everybody. There we go. Okay. So this is a card I made. It changed the placement on me. I'll have to mess with that. So this is a card I made the other day. I literally just grabbed a background from the pictures in Shuffle. So I'll show you guys where I grabbed everything from. And I was just making a card for this year that was, last year's was a little more cartoony and fun and gobble gobble. And this year's I was just making something that was really simple. So what was nice about this one, and we talked about this last week, ER, was like the whole, there it goes. For mobile, it works. The whole above the fold thing. So the nice thing about this card is when somebody clicks on it and opens it in their phone, it was just they didn't have to scroll at all. They just saw a cute little thing. It was just like, hey, happy Thanksgiving. It doesn't have it's not personalized. So you can literally just send this to anybody in your whole phone. Send. And then if you look under the pencil, you can see I have another image that just says thankful. Yeah. So that's the image, that profile image that would come up on an iPhone, how they get that preview before they click. That's the image that would show up there. So here's that card. Yep. If I go back here, I want to make sure I have it saved in the account. Okay, so it's in our account. So it's Thanksgiving 2022. So we'll share this on Insiders. I can't think of the word. On Insiders, and I'll mess with this and try and figure out what's wrong with that on the mobile or on the desktop side. But if anybody wants this card, I'm going to drop the template code in here. And then we'll talk about like the pieces and how we made it in case you do want it. The nice thing is that you can take this and you don't have to use it exactly how I made it. Here's the code.
Yeah, I think that's the key, Kathy, is the flexibility. I think the first thing, if you guys were listening to what Kathy was saying, that's a great rule, is if you make your cards non-personalized for specific uses, right? Like, I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. And instead of creating one Thanksgiving card for each person I'm going to be sending to, you know, happy Thanksgiving, Ruben, happy Thanksgiving, Kathy, happy Thanksgiving, Brittany, and going through, I create one general happy Thanksgiving card and I push that out. The other thing I think that that's really good, because then you're doing it once and you're sending the same card or maybe campaign link to everybody. The other thing that I think was really good, Kathy, is your compare and contrast to last year, because we all have specific personality types. And I think your card should match your personality type, if that makes sense. Just from the standpoint that if you are playful and cartoony, create a playful and cartoony happy Thanksgiving card. And if you're more formal and clean cut, maybe it's more formal and clean cut, or the reverse approach. Just be thinking about your brand and who you are and trying to maybe match some of that as a good rule as well.
Yep. And I don't know why it's messing with me on the desktop versus the mobile view.
Yeah.
Do you see how it's doing that? That's really weird.
It is. I think it's because it's a background image. It might be easier to crop the top of that image and make it an image versus the background image, and then use the color as the whole background.
Yes, I know. I was being all crafty.
I know.
Pushing this down. See, you guys, it doesn't always work for me either. Sometimes we have to figure things out. So the nice thing about these is this image here is just a background image that I used. So if you go to the blue gear, you can change the content of the background. So I made it an image in the background, which I could just make it a picture, and then the picture would push it down to ER's point.
Yeah.
The nice thing is if you do want to change this, you can just go hit change, go to the photo library.
I think this is your other great tip, Kathy. There's an entire photo library, guys. So if you're looking for content to put on your cards, yeah, you might be going to Google and like searching for images. Be aware that you probably shouldn't be doing that. There's a whole library of usable images. These are already licensed to us and stuff like that. And there's enough variety on here that if you take that Thanksgiving template, you could even like update it for other holidays. And again, whatever you use for your outreach holidays, it's another point of contact.
Yep. And so we could take something simple, just see what this lays out looks like. So again, this one, then I could take it, push this up. So I have some extra spaces in here that I made to push that down.
Yep.
So I could take the spacing out. Let's see, just hide it. We'll push it down. So you could change the background, make it something different. I could move this text. So the other thing I wanted you guys to know about the background, this is exactly how I build stuff. I just sit here and play with it and make it do what I want it to do. So you can have the background cover the entire card. So you can see there where it just elongated it. You can have it just at the top. You can have it, see here, I pushed it to the top. You can have it continue and have it go multiple times. I think I have to do this to do that. So it changes how it looks on the card. Here's the card. I think I blew it up that time.
Yeah.
There it is. So now it goes over and over and over again. So it just depends on what you want that to look like. That's why I sit here and preview these a million times, sorry. And just get it to where I want it. And then I also do it on the mobile, and I also send it to myself. So I can see what exactly it looks like once I send it. And again, something like this, I'm not trying to be salesy. I'm not trying to, get them necessarily to contact me. It's going to come from me, right? It's going to come from your text message. So I don't really need my phone number on there. I don't really need my email on there. I'm literally just trying to do this as a reach out, thank you for whatever, being my friend, being in my life, being part of my business, whatever it is.
Yep.
So, and then the saying, honestly, you guys, I literally went to Google and was just like, good things to say on a Thanksgiving card. There was like 50 of them, and you could just pick your favorite.
Yeah.
So I'm in no way am I like thinking of this stuff or coming up with anything crafty. I'm literally just coming up with something that's like, hey, this is easy to send. This is going to be easy to, put out. Nobody has to scroll. They're going to open it, see it, done. And I'm going to see, of course, that they opened it.
It's done its part, right? Like, what is the goal of the card? Remember, we always talk about these elements. I'm going to repeat them again just to drive the point home to everybody. What's the goal of the card is number one. What are the elements that you have on the card that help you accomplish that goal? That's number two. The order of the elements, right? Any calls to action that you might need in order to accomplish the goal, and maybe there aren't any. And then, what does your design look like? How are you spicing it up? And if we look at these cards, it doesn't have to be this complex card, everybody, right? You find a good background image going through the image library. Find a good block of text or a quote that works with your holiday message in your voice. Kathy, the third element you had on there was an image. And again, you didn't put your image when we talk about the order of those elements, right? You had a background image, you had a quote, you have your image. Maybe your call to action might be your contact information at the bottom if you're leaving that on your card. But the goal of the card is just to have another exposure with the individual. And maybe you're a person who groups people into certain categories, right? You've tagged your contact list. And maybe you send individual cards out. Like I know a lot of people use companies like send out cards, right? And there's a cost per card that you're sending out to those maybe top level group of individuals. Maybe it's all the customers that you have, but then you have people that you just met throughout the year, right? Maybe you met them last week, maybe you met them in January, and you just want to remind them that it was great. You're grateful to have met them. That's a whole target audience that you could be sending out a card to. And the cost for that is not going to be any more than what you're already covering in Shuffle, but it's another touch point. So the goal is, how can I continue to engage with people and have those touch points? This is one simple way to do that. And again, like the cartoon turkey, again, maybe that's your personality type. Maybe it's a mix and a match. What I like about
I left him in there in case somebody wanted him.
Yeah, you know what I like about this too, Kathy, is you've talked about a color picker before. I know we're looking at this on the desktop. You can see the two bars on each side are matching colors that are in the content that she's uploaded, which just brings the whole thing together. You don't have your LFI blue bars that a lot of people forget to change, or maybe are building on mobile and don't realize they can change.
Yep, and that's actually what I did to push these down. So I had put in I had put in, so this was a little crafty thing I did.
Yeah.
So I wanted space between, and I didn't have when I was doing this before, I needed the space up in the picture. Now I've changed it. So once I save this, you guys will have it as the right way. But I wanted space between, and I wanted to push those words down. So what I did is I cloned the paragraph, but for the paragraph to show, it had to have something in it. So I put a period in there just so that there was something. Yep. And then I made it the color of the background. So It was still going to push that down. It was still going to exist as a space holder, but it wasn't actually anything that you could see. It was just pushing it down from the picture. But now I've added it as a picture instead of a background. So I can take that out. We can push this up. And we're good to go. So you can see here where it's got the space above it. I just visually don't like that. So I'm going to take that 20 out of there. So there's no space. If you like it and you want it spaced, or you want it to have a border or anything like that, you can always add all that in there. But I like it just to be simple and clean. Exactly. Again, you can change the sizes. You can change what it says. I just added a little picture in there from our last time we were out of town. And bam, that would literally be what I would send.
Mm-hmm. Another thing, Kathy, that I think can be beneficial as well. On the full background, you can always use an image for your full background too. Yep. So that could be something that you take that smaller image and you expand it out so that if they're looking at it on a computer, it goes edge to edge and then your stuff's below. Again, just a lot of different flexibility there.
Yeah. So the background, like, I think, what do you call it, Ruben? The shoulders. I think you call
shoulder.
Love it. So that would be the purple gear. We do sometimes have people call us or message us and say, I don't have a purple gear. So if you're on like a tablet or something smaller, you have to scroll over to it. There will be a scroll bar at the bottom if you can't see the purple gear. So when you click on the purple gear, that is literally just for the desktop view on those two sides here. You can see that I've matched the color like we talked about earlier. So what I have is I just have a Google color picker. I just use that same color that was here and change the background color by going to background color. Once I have the color that I want to match, I just put it in there and it will match whatever color I've chosen. But to ER's point, if I want to make it more fun, I can go to a photo and I'm under the purple gear and I can just choose something that would be complementary. And so here's the leaves in the picture. Now, if you're viewing on desktop, here's some leaves behind.
Exactly. One other thing, Kathy, I'm going to steal the screen real quick. I'm just on template 18 and we're doing this stuff through the same thing up that you have. We're in our demo account. The key here, and I want to call out two things. Again, the shoulders are controlled by a gear that's very far over on the left-hand side. So you want to select that gear and all it does is allow you to control the background color or background content. And Kathy was just selecting an image. You can hit change and bring up any of those image things. So this one I was selecting because it had maybe some more real estate down below. The other thing I want to call out is you can see that you can't really see anything behind the center column. If you actually click on this, wherever you have some of the background color here, you can actually go in and you could turn it white to match, but you also have a gradient up here. And as you slide that bar down, you can see some of the background start to come through. So if you're somebody who wants the background to really show through, you could go through that process of making some things visible and some things not. So as you go down, you can see that now it's clear in the background. It's just getting cut off a little bit by my video and my other stuff. So play around with the, there's a background on both the sidebars and in the middle. But the key here with the middle, if you want to make that transparent, you just go to your background color. And just where, Kathy, you were talking about putting in the hex code for any of your colors using the picker. If you wanted to not have any color at all, it looks like a little checkerboard slider, and you can see the checkerboard comes all the way through. If you're doing it at about halfway, it's got a gradient on it. If you do it all the way, whatever color you're using, will show in that. And you could choose whatever color works, but also
that's awesome.
Make some gradient stuff if you have like an overlay you want to come through. So that's one of the tips, I think, if you're using the full screen background that you can start to use. And that works extremely well whenever you have things that are going to be overlaid. Be aware if you're uploading images, you might want to upload images with transparent backgrounds or other things that will fit with that. Just so that everybody gets that. That's all I wanted to show was just that transparency thing. So I think that helps whenever you're using the big backgrounds.
Oh, 100%. There's so many little tips. Go ahead, Ruben. Did you have something you want to add? You're our artist.
No, I mean, that was dynamite. I mean, I wasn't aware of that slider.
Yeah.
And I would like to put the whole entire background, like this painting in the back, fill up that whole area. That's what it's all about.
Yep.
Yeah, I think isn't that how your card is made, ER? You're in guys like your.
It is. In fact, I'll share my card and I'll call out specifically. You can see that's the one technique, but it makes it really stand out. If anybody's opened the card link, I actually threw it in the chat. If feel free to clone it. But I just have a background image here, guys. And then that center column is transparent. So here's my logo, but the logo has a transparent background. The background actually comes through. Right? Here's my image, here's my name, but everything, even behind the text, now it looks more professional in my opinion, right? Because everything's just sort of sitting on top of a background, whether they're on mobile or whether they're seeing through the whole desktop, they're going to see everything, all of the sort of widgets I have stacked, but with the background showing through. So don't lose sight of the background as being a component of that fifth area, the design area on your card, right? And that can play a big role in how people visually see this. If I had not done that transparency, you could imagine this background being on each side, but a white bar being in the middle. It wouldn't look as nice, in my opinion.
Yep, and we can actually play with that on on the Thanksgiving card, right? So we can actually do that here too. So if we went ahead and took that down.
You can start to see, right? Like now the leaves are coming through, and you might decide, wow, I just want a background.
Yeah.
And I don't need the upper image. And then Kathy, if you take on that same background screen and you have it, I think you have it selected as the matching brown. If you did white, just select the little white box in your color picker at the
This one?
Gear background for the main center area where you just lowered the gradient. Yep, background color. And then if you just turn and select the white box right there and then bring your gradient up a little bit or down a little bit, it'll help you get your text to pop off the screen, guys, but without, so as you scroll down, we were losing some of the text. This is why we want to preview our cards, so that as you scroll down, you're showing just enough transparency for the background to come through, but not enough transparency like, Chris and Kathy now jumps off the page to me. Whereas when it was fully transparent, it got lost in that one leaf shadow. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, I was actually going to talk about that same thing, but opposite. So what I was going to talk about was if you're going to do that, once you make those changes, right? This is like exactly what you and I talk about all the time is like, you have to, a lot of times you whiteboard stuff, right? I just kind of lay it out and play with it as I go. But if I'm going to make this change now, and I'm going to say like, you know what, I just want the leaves there. I don't want that column.
Mhm.
I would probably actually go in here and change the color of the text.
Yeah.
I may even change the font
Yep.
and change, make it something that is not going to almost fight with the eye, right? Because now you're like, wait, there's texture from the leaves, and then now there's the script that's a little bit, harder to read. So that's when you really start, for me personally, this is when I start to really mess with the card, right? So I've got all the elements on here. I know what my message is. I know what I'm trying to say. And now is when I sit here and I really look at it and I critique it, as best I can as visually, and sit here and go, okay, the reason I did text was because I was trying to kind of do a similar thing to what the little picture had.
Yep.
But maybe now I need to change what that looks like so it's easier to read.
Yep. Also, if you click on your image there, Kathy, sometimes, you can have harsher corners and stuff. There's actually some elements where you can round your corners as well, where it says border radius, and you can start to give those like, I don't know, a 10 or a 20. You might need to amp it up pretty high in order to really see it. 10 pixels isn't a ton.
Oh yeah, it's gonna take a bunch. Okay, hold on.
Yeah. Try like 300 or something.
Okay.
Yeah, so now you can see how it's rounding the image.
Yeah, it looks a lot better.
You know what I mean? And maybe you want it, you don't want it that rounded, but you want it rounded. Again, this is part of that. We talked the 5 steps, right? So I already know what my goal is. Once you've established the goal, you're not really revisiting the goal, right? You've got your elements. I want images. I want text. I want an image of me. This will help me accomplish wishing somebody happy Thanksgiving. I want them in this order. Once you sort of laid that out, it's not until you're getting to the design thing, Kathy, that you're talking about, where you can geek out and try and dial it in as much as you want, but that's really that 5th element. Focus on the first 4 first. Those will get locked in. And then you can really geek out over, yeah, this is exactly what I want. This is, now you see Kathy's mind working where she wants to go in and she wants to crop it and she wants to dial it in. And that's the whole goal on the platform, right? This is why we send the cards to ourselves. This is why we preview the cards, is because you're creating an experience for somebody. You know what I mean? And this person who receives your card, think about this, guys. Like Thanksgiving's coming up on Thursday. Do you know how many people I've talked to who they're not going somewhere? They don't have family coming in. They're considering having a Friendsgiving, but they're not getting a lot of outreach. And it's like, wow, if they got a note during this time, it'd probably stand out so much to them, than the alternative. So, again, you've rounded out your image and now it takes on a whole new life when you're sort of dialing it in with the design.
So I'm also going to mention this little tidbit here. So this little black bar, you can see it on the preview.
Mm-hmm.
What that is it's the shuffle, powered by shuffle bar. And so just so y'all know, for some reason, I don't know, ER, if you realize
You've
this,
got background color in that.
it doesn't
option,
change
Kathy.
with it. Yes.
Yeah.
So
So
you
it's
can
not
do
linked.
it.
It's its own element. So if you're going to
Yep.
do that, you can either turn it off or you can go in and Kathy, if you scroll up, there's the black.
Yep.
You can actually click on that background, pull up the same picker, pull in the same gradient. But again, this is why we preview it. Sometimes the gear controls multiple sections within a container. Other times there are other containers within the template that you'll need to do separately.
Yep.
Oh.
So you can go into that background, like he was saying, you can either change the background color, change the content to that same picture of the leaves.
Yep.
It's gonna just kind of give a different image back there. Or sometimes I'll leave that and I'll change the colors and I'll just change it to Powered by Shuffle and white.
Yep.
You know, obviously everyone I know knows I do shuffle, but I mean, why not? Again, I'm not trying to tell you you have to have shuffle, but it's like, why not show somebody like, oh wow, somehow she made that with shuffle.
Yep.
Right. Again, I'm not asking you, I'm not selling to you, but I'm showing you, you know, something else I made.
Please go back into that, Kathy, and just make it transparent, and then the background will show through versus putting in the background image, because it will put in its own image as it. I think you're better off going in there and just dragging that that new bar that we talked about today, your gradient bar.
The gradient bar.
Yep. And then you'll have to delete the image that you uploaded for the background so that it's just a colored background. Yeah, where you have background content.
Yep. Okay.
There you go. And then go to your background color.
Oh, you have to redo it. So if you change the color, you have to do that again.
Default back, yeah. Up a little bit to background color, right there. And then you can slide it all the way over.
Yeah, it's over though.
Oh, I know what's going on. Your invite code one, the green gear, that's the one you want to do.
Oh, gotcha.
Click on background color, and now slide your gradient all the way over.
Yeah,
So
that one always takes me a second to remember what to do, because there's three parts to that one.
Can have separate backgrounds, guys. So if you have a section, see now you don't see it as much, right?
Well, it's a good thing this is recorded.
Yeah.
It is. I remembered this time.
Yeah, my mind's wrapped around it.
I remembered. There's a text one though too. Hold on, I gotta find it. There, you can change the text color. I know that somewhere because I always change the. I changed the Powered by Shuffle.
Maybe try clicking on the text itself. There you go.
There you go.
So you could turn that to white if you wanted it to pop a little bit more, and it would pop a little bit more.
Yep, there it is. And then I always scoot it down a little bit. Give it a little bit of padding or margin. Yep.
I think that's the other thing, right? When we start looking at the design of our cards, you want to look at the spacing and some of those things just to make sure it shows. Yep. But here you've got a card that, I don't know, Kathy, if you clone this, it might take you 10 minutes, 15 minutes to modify. If you're building it from scratch, you're looking at 30 minutes to an hour. But once you've done it, if you've done it in a general format, now you have, it's almost like going out to the Hallmark store, picking up a card that you can send to everybody, and that's the approach that I would take is what types of holidays or events do I usually reach out to people? Great. Yep. If I create a general card for that, now I have a way to reach out for people, and that's consistent engagement.
Yep. Well, so I've already started a generic Happy Holidays card that I'll put in there and share the number to the template code to. And what I'm doing on that one is just it'll be short, but it'll be something that everybody can clone if they want to use it. It's just going to be like a Happy Holidays with a little message, and then it's going to be kind of like a year in review photos. So it's just going to be like a picture carousel showing like pictures from this year. So instead of having, one picture that you choose and you send out, this is our one Christmas picture, right? It's like, why not send a couple pictures to your friends and family and be like, oh, here's some of this fun stuff that we did in the past year.
Give them something to scroll through and look at.
Yeah, kind of fun. Okay, I know we have a bunch of stuff in chat. Oh, Guy. Okay, so I had pulled this one up. Here's the one that Ruben made. Greg, if you hadn't had a chance to look at it, so Ruben's got a maintenance handyman card. He said you can turn into a plumber card,
And again, if we're looking at this template, guys, Ruben, thank you for sharing that. Greg, there's the link to this card in the chat. So if you open it, you can save it in your browser to your card index and then clone it from there. And Kathy, if you scroll up on this, again, from a general standpoint, the logo is the big thing. You're going to swap out the logo with some plumbing logo. The green is the branding, but it could be any color. And then the video. Those are the only visual elements in the design on this card. And that's how universal these cards could be. If you swap it out, it could be just as much a real estate card as a plumbing card, as a dog sitter card. Just based 100%. On what images you upload into it. Obviously,
well, again, it looks like you kind of chose a similar green. So
yeah, I understand that from the standpoint of the branding. So if Greg, if your plumber friend or client has certain branding that they've sent over to you, you just want to lean into that. If you upload their logo and you find out it's not greens, it's more teals, then you go in and you replace the button color with more teals.
Okay. I didn't see that he had a logo. So
the image upside. Oh, your friend. Yep. Right. Something else to look at. Let me jump over and see if it's in there. But within the editor, if you're going into some of those background images,
I was just gonna say that. I bet you
there's probably some plumbing ones.
I'll change this real quick, but I won't save it.
Yeah.
So if you go over here and you go to the photo library, Greg, I bet you. Yeah.
Yep. So again, you can take some of this artwork, and that's clearly going to drive the point home that this card is about plumbing.
Okay. But it probably wouldn't be a generic video for plumbing, though.
No, I would always recommend, if you're putting video on your card, you use your content. I think it's more challenging to find the perfect video content from somebody else that's going to fit into you, with exception of something like this holiday card. If you find a funny holiday video, right? Like my family loves the quintessential Christmas movies. My wife's already streaming them, and there are all these little Elf and quote phrases that sort of cheer us up. That's something that I personally would probably grab on YouTube and throw in on a card to somebody. Hey, just thinking of you, and then here's hello from Buddy the Elf type of thing, or something like that. Right? There's probably something you could find on YouTube that's like a gobble, gobble, wobble, wobble type of video for Thanksgiving, if that was your personality type. Those are the times that when I would use a video I find online. Otherwise, if it's a business specific thing, you want to use that business's content as much as possible.
Okay.
Yep. And then looks like Guy made a quick, hold on, I gotta go all the way back up here. Here we go. Guy made one also. And he's put the code in here as well. So here's, oh, that's cute. Got the water behind it.
Yep.
Look at that.
And in fact,
so then you can have your friend, have him make a 1-minute video. Just, him standing next to his, right? It's him standing next to his truck. Just, hey, I'm John. I'm the one who's going to be coming to help you with your plumbing. To me, that's really something that makes a difference with a digital card, right? If that person sends me something and is like, hey, I'm the person who's going to be knocking on your door, that really tells me, it gives me that next level step of security. If you're home alone and I have to answer the door and I don't know who's coming, I know that this is either you, because you own the company, or you've empowered your employees with a digital card that they can send it and go, hey, I'm on the way. This is what my van looks like. This is what I look like. Here's who's going to be knocking on your door.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
So that should be, and again, that's something that you can also offer to people. So because on your YouTube, you can hide things on YouTube, right? It doesn't have to be public, so that if somebody searches the LFI YouTube page, right? You can choose when you upload a video, is this a public video that anyone can search and see? Or is this a private video that you're holding in your account?
Where they have to have the link, right?
They have to have the link. And then there's the middle one that's it's not public and it's not private, but I can put it on a shuffle card and it will play.
Yeah.
So that if you put the security is, I can't think of the word, if anybody knows what it is, drop it in there. as the center one, the middle privacy. It can't be found on YouTube, but it can be put on a shuffle card. So you could have your friend make the video. You can upload it and hold it for them in your YouTube account.
Sure.
You can still make the card and have that link because you own the link, right? You have the link to that card, and then you can put it on there for them. So if it's something where you're building a card for somebody, I do that all the time.
Okay. Now, if I uploaded a link to or video to a YouTube channel, wouldn't it automatically be public, or
You have to choose when you upload it, you choose what the privacy is.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of the questions as you go through and upload. It'll
Okay.
say,
It'll be unlisted.
thank you, unlisted. That's what it is. It's the middle
Thank you,
one.
Danielle. Danielle also put it on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't have a YouTube account yet, but I'm planning on getting one. So
If you have a Gmail, you have a YouTube. So just check your Gmail account. It'll tell you what your YouTube is, and then you literally can just put stuff unlisted and nobody else can search for it, but you can put it on all your shuffle cards.
okay,
It's just handy and helpful, especially if you're making cards for other people, you know?
Yep.
where at on Google would you search for that?
I would just say, if you
Go
have
to
email,
YouTube
go to
and sign
Google.
in and use your Google information. It'll let you
Yep.
know that you already have an account, and it'll say your YouTube address is, and it's usually whatever you have before the @ sign on Gmail.
Yep.
You know,
Okay.
but I would
Super
check that out.
simple.
Worst case scenario, I would go in and on YouTube say, how do I log into YouTube, or what's my YouTube channel? And there's probably 1,000 videos that speak to that as well. I want to highlight one thing, Cathy, that you mentioned and Anna reiterated, and I think really good, is how important it is to have a visual of yourself, or if you have a team and you have technicians that you're sending to people's houses, just having that sense of security where somebody can say, I know who to expect. I mean, nowadays when our doorbell rings or our Ring camera goes off or whatnot, and we're not expecting anybody, it's almost like, who's there? What's going on? And there's this hesitation in the sense of like protection that comes in, and like, I wasn't expecting anybody. Were you expecting anybody? You know what I mean? Oh, I'm expecting an Amazon package. Okay, then it's probably Amazon. But if I'm expecting, the HVAC guy to come by, which happened recently, it would have been nice to say like, hey, we're on our way. Or we get those update texts from the technician. I'm 10 minutes out and I should be arriving in 10 minutes. And if they included a link to a card that was like, again, here's our company, here's who you're getting service from, all of this type of stuff. The next time somebody asks for a recommendation for a tradesman, you're like, oh, that was a pleasant experience. I knew when they were coming. I knew when they were going to arrive. I knew who to look for and who to expect. I felt comfortable.
Oh yeah, 100%. I would
Here's
think
the
it's
card type
fantastic.
thing. Yeah.
Yep, I agree completely. Okay, so we gotta go way back up here. Create the free
I
card.
don't know if you have anything to add to that, or if your question was completely.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have it. I have my box up over there. Go ahead, Anna. I'm sorry. I'm going to go through chat too while you're talking. Sorry.
Just really quickly, thank you for the YouTube information. I went right to my Gmail, and there's the 9 dots in the corner. And when you click on it, it brings up the YouTube. It's in that list of apps and stuff. So you got it anytime you want it.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, there's so many little things you learn. I'm going to upload that card that you
Cathy,
made.
while you're uploading that and looking at that, I want to call this out because there are a lot of free additional resource tools that you might not even know you have access to that we use as elements on cards all the time. So things like your Gmail or your YouTube channel. I think Canva has a free account. So if you're somebody looking to do a lot of design stuff, that could also be an opportunity. And again, these are things that aren't going to cost you any additional cost. So you don't really have an excuse in implementing them on your cards. I think a picture is worth 1,000 words. A video's got to be worth 100,000. So the more you can use video, I think it's a good opportunity to get in front of people, especially if you're doing your own personal videos. Versus just like a static image of you.
Agreed. Okay, so we have a question about the free card customized background. Is it editable on mobile or desktop?
Yep, let's talk about this real quick. I'm going to share my screen. Rose Michelle, great question. So what you can edit on the free card template, and I've got a published free card, is this blue box that sits above the first white border, that whole background. And so again, a good example, this is I believe it's a square. You could use a Canva image, you could go grab an image, but you can upload that image specifically. Let me get out of here. We'll just back out of this. And we'll jump over to the free template. So your free template is going to be under mobile. So you're going to go create card, mobile card builder, and then you'll see that free business card up there and select that template. And on step 3, where you have the picture, that's where you're going to use that. And we've probably updated the template. So let's go in. Yeah, let me see if it refreshes. Well, it looks like we've got a little bit of a glitch happening on the preview side of it. But that's the area. When you get into the picture side, I'm sure as we go through, this is where you're going to see change background, Rose Michelle, change background, and it gives you a recommended 6x500. That's where you could put in the background image that you want on the free card. And when you select that, then we'll just save this and let me finish it up because I know the preview is not showing as well. Or maybe that's tied to it. So it looks like we're having a little bit of technical difficulty, at least on this account. But again, when you get in there, that's what it would build out. If you remove your profile image as well, you can actually use a better Canva one and the profile image won't cover it up. So a little tip there, but you can update that image, but it only does that one box right here. I'm gonna see if I can get that resolved, guys. And
I was
if I
gonna
do,
say, I'm guessing the guy is sitting there right now trying to see if he can.
yeah, I know we had
Figure that
some
out.
account stuff turn off real quick on the demo account that we just made live, so it might just be tied to that.
It's great having our tech person right here live working on things while we do stuff. Okay, another question. And I love this question. I have a lot of cards that need editing as far as usage. For example, plenty of birthday cards. Was thinking of giving them another purpose. Okay, my question on that, Rose Michelle, is: are they birthday cards to a specific person? Is that how you have so many, or did you just design a whole lot of them?
Hi, thank you.
Yeah.
They were to specific different people.
Okay. So that my first tip would be kind of what we did for the Thanksgiving card, is to make, and we'll make some and put them in our corporate templates, but is to make it generic. I know it's nice to be able to say, hey, whomever, happy birthday, but if you make it generic, you could make 2 or 3 and just leave it at that, and then use all those other card templates for something else. Because when you text it to them, that could be when you personalize it. Hi, Rose Michelle. It was, I hope you have a great birthday. Click below for a little message from me. And when they click it, it's like, ding, something pops open and this little happy birthday card.
Oh, okay.
So then my answer would be the whole edit, not delete thing, right? Okay. So if this was a card specifically for a person and their birthday has already passed, we assume that they're probably not going to be reopening that card. And so instead of having, I don't know, ER, you tell me what you think. For me, I would probably delete that card.
Yeah.
I'd go ahead and delete it because you're not going to need that link again. That person's probably not coming back to it. Start fresh, and you have a brand new card and a brand fresh template. And that's not something I don't normally say delete it, but I'm going to say it this time.
Well, and I think, again, if you were individualizing cards, I think there's a time and a place for it. You know what I mean? But also it can be overdone, especially if it's a single time use type of thing. Like, it's your birthday, I'm sending you a card. You're probably going to look at it, maybe look at it twice that day. But after your birthday passes, you're not really coming back to look at those cards. So they serve a small purpose for a moment in time. If you generalize it, you could use that card every single day, right? And it could get views from different people every single day if it was a general happy birthday card. You don't get to do the personalization, but you're still getting the engagement and the touch point, right? So you have to make that judgment. But if you do use generalized cards, then they can serve that like every day. What do we talk about? What James was talking about, where you could send out 5 happy birthdays a day every single day and never run out of happy birthdays to wish people on social media. And instead of creating 5 new cards every day, that would be 25 cards a week, right? 100 cards a month. You have 1 birthday card. And instead, pour yourself into the design so that they're relating it to you and overlooking the fact that you maybe didn't say, Kathy, happy birthday, put in the video of you like, hey, I'm so happy it's your birthday. Again, it's super general, but I wanted to wish you a happy birthday. And I'm going to sing you the birthday song, happy, happy, happy. And then you just go through it. You're not saying their name in the song, but and then it's like, oh, it's accomplishing the goal. The goal is to get me in front of them, let them know that I'm thinking about them on their special day and bring me top of mind to them.
I mean, wouldn't that be so cute? You're like, I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. Have fun blowing out your candles. And you have like candles and you're like, and you blow them all out and that's it. 30 seconds. Just something funny that's going to make them laugh or, put a smile on their face or, who knows, right?
Again, I think anytime we can get in front of our audience and have a touch point.
Yep.
The more you can personalize it in certain scenarios, like I'm going to send you out an example of what your card is going to look like. Totally personalize it. You know what I mean?
100%.
But the holiday greetings and those types of things, you could have 1 card for each one that totally represents you, who you are, and your brand, and use that over and over and over again.
Yep. I love it. Okay. So hold on. I think we got everything. If I missed something.
While you're looking at that, I just wanted to share. So I just went back and edited. This is going back, Rose Michelle, on the background.
Oh, there we go. Cute.
Yeah. You can see I just went in on the background for picture and did change background. I'll deselect it so you could see what it was like before. It was just a green background. Again, I would match your branding and stuff. You could go find an image. I just had an image. I'm going to hit save and it brings it in. The other thing, if you change photo and you don't want a photo on there, I'm just going to uncheck and hit save to remove the photo. You can see the full background is exposed. So if you're somebody who uses Canva or some other photo editing, check out the size. It's 600 by 500. And you could use that whole real estate. Be aware your name and your title is going to go across it, and your share and your save links are going to be on it. But you could put your logo up here. You could put a picture of yourself up here. You could do a bunch of stuff within the real estate that is the background itself. So I think one of the themes for today is don't underestimate the power of backgrounds on your cards.
Absolutely. And like Danielle just said, every year, kind of what I just did to the Thanksgiving card, actually, because last year's Thanksgiving card, which Ruben still has, and I can share that one again as well. It's a little cartoony and just fun and just like gobble, gobble, it was a fun one to make. And then this year's, I made it a little more formal, a little bit more, kind of less goofy. And it said, give thanks. So all I did was take the same card and update it. So in my personal account, that's all I did. I went from 2021, the goofy, or to 2022, the more professional one. So I took the same exact template and just changed it. Mm-hmm. In the corporate account, I can have the multiple ones. So you guys can pick which ones you guys want to download. But that's exactly what I did. Is I just took my same Thanksgiving card, edited it, made the changes. Now it's going to go out again. So,
well, to Danielle's point in that meeting chat, just updating something, it becomes so much quicker. The holiday greeting card from our family to yours. If you have new pictures every year, you're updating the pictures, and then it's like that's half the battle, right? You swap out the background from a red one to a green one or whatnot, and then you have variety. So somebody's not like, didn't I get that card for my birthday last year? The same birthday song and everything,
Great. Hey, Kathy.
But again, it goes right back to me. It goes right back to the argument on the business cards, right? This is the exact same thing. If you send me a generic holiday card, I appreciate it. Don't think I don't appreciate it. Matter of fact, they get taped up on my wall for the from now until January. If you send me one with a picture, it is going to go on my fridge. My family, that's where I see my family for the year. But once we start sending these out and people can interact with them and see them and, be like, oh, look, here's like everything. Here's, Chris and Kathy did this year. And there's, this cute little interactive thing. I don't have to throw something away. We didn't have to, recycle something again, put more paper out there in the world. And people are going to start getting used to that, and I could, if I wanted to take those images, save them to my phone, print them out, whatever I have, you know what I mean? You're sending people something that if they do want it, they can have this, save those images. I think it's really, I don't know, I think it's the wave of the future.
Well, Kathy, I know one thing that a drawback of non-personalization is maybe I might not know that I'm sending it to so-and-so or that they're viewing it. Do the flow that Kathy talked about, and we'll lean into after Thanksgiving about networking, where you go to your contact section, you go to my shared cards under that contact, you grab your holiday greeting card for Thanksgiving, and the first link that it gives you is the trackable link for that contact. So that way you could have that one card, you could send it out to 100 people, and you would have 100 separate links. So you could even know who viewed your holiday card if you wanted to get that measurable on it, you know? Oh, great. Now I know who's engaged with the material. Okay, now after the holiday is over, when Monday comes around and everybody's done with their turkey comas and I start making phone calls, you know, I'll see the people who open up I'll start with the list of the people who opened my card first, maybe.
Well, I mean, you could even do that, right? I mean, maybe you take a picture in the next couple of days because families come over for Thanksgiving. Yep. And you send the turkey coma picture. And it's funny because it's not Thanksgiving and it's not holidays in December. And you smash it right in the middle and be like, hey, we just wanted to say hi before everybody else started saying hi. I mean, there's so many things you could do with this. There's so many, I mean, it's just so fun. Okay, I don't know who was first to a second. I don't know who Fire Tablet is, but I know they have their hand up. And so I'm going to call on Fire Tablet.
Yeah, hi, Kathy. Sorry, I sent you a message earlier.
Oh, that's okay. I'm not sure who this is. Who is it?
Joe Marr.
Oh, hey, Joe. No problem. You know what? I was folding clothes and I had this, so I apologize. I haven't answered you yet.
That's okay. I didn't even realize today was Tuesday, and then I was looking into my shuffle thing and went to announcements, and I said, okay, that'll solve it. On the free card, I was redesigning it, and for some reason, I don't know, because I have it on my computer right now. Right now, I'm on my tablet, but where you have your Facebook link, that clicking the Facebook link, it goes to. Well, let me click on it a minute, and I'll tell you. It goes to Shuffle by Elify. Get your shuffle or something like that. Yep. And it's overview, facts, features, and all like that. But I'm clicking on the Facebook. I want them to go to Facebook. Isn't that what that Facebook thing is for?
It does. So there are some default links. I'm sharing the screen. Hopefully this is showing on your tablet. We're editing that free card. The first time you use that template, there are some default examples in there. So that's what I'm going to assume you have in yours. When you go to the info section in step 2 right here, there's a whole list. And once you get past these contact me, where you have sort of your phone number, your email address, your address, you're going to start seeing the connect with me links. So LinkedIn, and if you don't want it to show, you just clear it out and you can see the LinkedIn went away. If you do want it to show, make sure you're putting in your specific link. So you can see this one is defaulted to go Elify for Facebook. If you don't want it to go there, then put in yours and it will stay on Facebook, but it'll start pointing to your link. I'm just putting gobbledygook in here, guys, just so you can see that when you fill it out, the new social thing comes up. There are some examples of the link it's looking for, like under Instagram, it's https://instagram.com/your username. Another reason why I like to do it on my desktop where I have multiple tabs, it's a great opportunity to go to those social media sites, go to your page on that social media site or your profile where it typically has the hyperlink and copy that. But what you need to do is you need to just update the fields on the social editor for the free business card to make sure you edit the Facebook one to be your Facebook link, if that makes sense.
Okay, if you put your Facebook link in where it says Facebook,
yep,
then shouldn't it go to your link?
It will. Once you go,
make sure you clear out the go Elify. So clear out what's in there.
Clear that out, and then you put like whatever it is / ER or the full thing where it's HTTPS facebook.com/your name. So
Do you have to put the full link in there? Because
I would test it. I believe that's the best thing to do, is put in the full link so that there's no excuse that that's your Facebook link. I don't know my
That's
Facebook link, so I'm
that's
looking
what
it
I
up right now.
recommend as well. So if you, just to ER's point, so if you were to open, so say you're designing just like this and he has his computer open, he can open another tab, go to his Facebook, grab that whole link of his
Yeah.
Facebook profile and copy and paste it right there. That's your best bet to get to your Facebook page.
So
Or
in this
whatever.
example, if I paste this in, you can see what mine is as the Facebook
I-
link, and I'm pasting in the full link. And then when I hit next
I
to
see
save,
what you did.
it would save it in. So this is why, if you look at these where it says LinkedIn, it gives a full example up there. It's https://linkedin.com/in/ whatever your URL is going to be. Same thing for Twitter, same thing for Facebook. Line, I think, is just an ID name or number. Same thing with Skype and Snapchat and WhatsApp. Instagram is going to be more of a hyperlink, right? Instagram.com/your username. A big key, Kathy, you mentioned this. Once you do this, make sure to send the card to yourself and play with your own card. You guys would be surprised how many people will put in a link and they don't put it in the right format, and they're convinced that that is their link, and they forgot to put in like HTTP or HTTPS in that hyperlink, and therefore it stops linking or it throws them back over to LFI.com.
Yeah, you need to test every one of these links to make sure they're going where they're supposed to be going before you make this live to anybody.
Yep.
100%, right? This is part of what we talked about. What people say luck is when opportunity meets preparation. Preparation is building your card, testing your card, sending your card to yourself so that you don't have to have anybody other than you be the guinea pig for your card. In fact, if you want to take it a step further, go into LFI Insiders and paste your card there. Hey guys, I just created a new card. I've tested everything on the card myself, but I'm still looking for any feedback. And now you have an audience that's willing to give and provide feedback and constructive criticism before you put it into in front of the person that might be the next big business deal or next big business opportunity. That's the last thing you want to do, right? Like, oh, I'm going into this meeting. I want to make an amazing first impression. And instead of making an amazing first impression, I'm going to make them be the guinea pig on my card.
Well, and the
Right,
other thing I
ER.
think is a little, it could be confusing, and I understand why, but I don't know what else to do about it, is no matter what you put under there, that button's going to appear. So because the button is there, I think some people assume it's going to the right place, or it magically found their, Facebook page or whatever.
Yeah.
Therefore, when somebody actually, usually when anybody puts something in here, and says, hey, can you look at this? I didn't get to today because we're looking at building and doing everything. But if somebody puts a link in and they're like, hey, here's my card, 9 times out of 10, if like ER is chatting or we're doing something and I have time, I will open it and start pushing buttons just to see, did it go to their Facebook? Did it go to their LinkedIn? Did it go to their YouTube? So that I could give them a really quick, hey, I'm not sitting here staring at your information, but I know that this button didn't go to where I think you wanted it to.
Yep. I mean, we're not checking the links. You can see I just put gobbledygook in here. We're not checking the links on your behalf. We're taking what you put into the form as this is the link they're providing. So the expectation when you entered in is that you're providing a valid link, right? And all of your links, or at least we should all be able to look those up by going to the social sites that we want to have on the social sections of our card. The whole benefit there is we don't want somebody go connect with me on Facebook or on LinkedIn or on Instagram, and then you're leaving it on them to go find you. How many Bob Smiths might there be on Facebook? You want them to connect to the right Bob Smith. So here's my Facebook link. Click on that. It's going to open my profile. If you're logged into Facebook, all you have to do is hit connect.
All right, quick question, ER.
Yeah.
When you get to the bottom on this particular card, I am leaving your video that says "Grow Your Business." I think that is a fantastic video for somebody to see.
Yeah.
I'm leaving that in, leaving the capture form in, But
Yep.
at the very bottom, that yellow or gold thing where it says claim your digital business card here,
Yes.
when they click on that, it opens up for them to buy the year 300 or whatever, and they don't know to scroll down and hit, and you have it in way smaller print to get their free business card.
Yep.
How would you direct somebody to that area after they fill out this information here, or even before they fill the information? This
I think
is
that's
what-
more like pre-education. If the intent is to get them to sign up, I would say, oh, here's my digital business card. You can get a free one. You'll see a banner on the bottom of the card. Scroll down on the page it takes you to and select the free offer. Unfortunately, in this template, there's not much else we'd be able to do. If you're truly focused on giving out free business cards, and I'm just going to cancel this one out and show you, I would recommend getting the Promote Shuffle for Free template that's actually the free business card, so that when they click claim your free card, it links directly not to the one that has the annual subscription at $300, but the one that links directly there for $0. An alternative on here, you can copy this link and you can use this link that points to the free card on any of your buttons. So if you wanted to come back in and edit that free card, free business card, and I'm going to go back to our editor, you do have a button on this card. So as I scroll down, I took the button off, but under the info section, you'll see, or we'll come across one that says button title.
Right.
Claim your free card. You know what I mean? And for the button link, I can always paste in the same link I had for the thing where it says, sign up. We hit next on this, next, confirm, and all we did was add that button. When we preview that card, so let's go back into that card, free business card, and we'll preview it. Here's our card. And instead of expecting them to click on the gold banner, and I'll show you so everybody who's watching what goes along, is this takes you straight into this offer, get shuffle, and they've got the whole, what you're talking about, annual subscription at $200. Instead,
Right.
they come to the card. So we'll preview the card one more time. And they click on the claim your free card or whatever text you want to put in there. Get a free digital business card. This is your call to action. You'll see it goes directly to the $0 sign up.
Okay. So
I hope it wasn't too confusing. I'd recommend coming back and checking the replay out. But all I did, I took the same link that was on that free card, and I'm sure it's right here. This link, this hyperlink right here. And then when I opened it up, it took me to this page, and all I did was that, and that's the link I put on my buttons.
okay.
So if you're trying to shortcut them straight to the free offer, you can either use that free business card promotion right here, and that's available
Right.
in the mobile card builder, or use this link, your link specifically on any one of your buttons where you want to offer that free business card.
Right. Well, because they're not going to use the free business card for very long. That's just like a lead in.
Exactly. In the online marketing world, you would call our free business card the tripwire, right? It gets them to stumble upon us, but after you start hanging out here for a while, you realize that premium is where it's at and you upgrade your account.
Right.
I was thinking it's probably on your invite links as well, isn't it? The free.
Yeah, most likely if you go to affiliate.lfi.com, log into your affiliate backend system, you're going to see invite links there, and those are direct links.
Yeah,
as
so if
well.
you grab
So
that
you
free
grab it from
business
there.
card link there, you'll be able to get that same link.
Yep.
No, Greg, I think was,
Clearing that up.
say again, I'm sorry, Joe?
I said, thank you so much for clearing that up.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hopefully it's clear. Greg,
Okay, I have a couple questions. Okay, so one is last night I was trying to update my one of my cards, and I had what I did was I went ahead and got a business email, and so I had changed that, and then I went into on the card I went into Facebook because I finally got my page created for that. But I couldn't get the icon to move down to where my phone and my email icons reside, and was wondering how.
On which template?
I think it's 18.
Okay, let's pull up template 18 real quick. And a few things, especially on the desktop card builder, Greg, which I would recommend. I'm gonna jump in here and share screen.
That's usually the one I use, is the
Yep.
desktop version.
Okay, and here's standard template 18. We're going to select that one. We're going to create and edit. And be aware in this section, you have two different types of links. Okay, you've got contact links over here, and you've got social links up here, Greg. Now be aware within the editor of any of these, you can come in and actually clone these or personalize these. And the same thing with the row below.
Okay.
So if you're in this section, like where this box is, and you know you're going to be using phone and SMS and that, and you're only going to have like Facebook, and you don't want Facebook up here, you could
Right.
take that whole section and hide it. Okay, and then you could come down here to this section and take one of these icons that might not be using, and you could use any of these if you're not using it. Let's say you only have phone, text, email, and address, and you don't really use Skype at all.
Okay.
Select that icon, and up here, you have a change icon option on the left-hand side, and you can click to change that, and you can search for something else like Facebook.
Okay.
And it'll bring up the Facebook icon, and you could say, okay, yep, I really want to use that. And now it becomes the Facebook icon.
Okay.
And then you want to come into your link and change it from Skype. You see how it's set to Skype? You could put it to Facebook. And then you could put in your, https:// whatever your URL is.
Right.
It's
Okay.
typically your name. And then once you do that, you can see it's going to all be on the same line
Awesome.
as what those things are. So you wouldn't necessarily grab that icon and move it down. You would modify some of the other icons. And what's nice about this is, again, we preloaded it in with some, but you can see they're grayed out because they just don't have content in them, but they're there to use. But if you're not going to use them, you can create any other one that you want to create out of them. And you can create multiple. You could come in and you could clone it, and it will clone another one, and then you can use it for something else. So be aware that that flexibility is there. That's a great question because you're not necessarily moving things around. You're instead just adding, cloning, or modifying within the widget set that you're working within.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. And my other question was, if I was to share like the card, like say the Happy Thanksgiving Day card, and say I wanted to share that on like Facebook or Quora, would I want to share that as the QR code, or how would you share it?
Okay, so great question. If you're sharing on social, and if people are already online, that means the social place where you're sharing it is online, like Facebook, like most of the social communities. You would just share your hyperlink for that within that group. And I would recommend that you share a campaign link so that you know that that Facebook group is the group that's opening your card. So I will take you in as an example and show you step by step what I would do. Let's assume that we just created that card, holiday card, using standard template 18 a second ago. I would come down here on the campaigns, and I would say, again, today's the 22nd, create a campaign, and I might say, Facebook post 11/22/22 holiday greeting. Hit create. And instead of sharing this code, because they're already online, they don't need to scan anything, right? So give them just the link to do. And if you post the link and there's a preview option like on social on the walls or on instant messenger, it's actually going to show the preview image of the card instead of just a QR code. I
Okay.
would only use QR codes online if we're talking about like how we are using QR codes right now, where you've got it sort of in here, because then somebody who's on their computer who has their phone with them can open that up and scan it. But if they're not going to have the ability to have their phone and scan, that's another step you're asking them to take. If they're already on Facebook in a group, circumnavigating them, scanning it from their phone and going to their phone to look at a card, to just clicking the preview image or the hyperlink. So I
Okay,
would
then.
copy that URL, and then I would write whatever message you're writing. Hey, everybody in the group, just wanted to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. I created this card to show my appreciation for all of you. Check it out. It's filled with fun and a Thanksgiving greeting message, and then post the link and the preview comes up.
Okay, and then you're not gonna get dinged by Facebook for posting a link in there?
No, I mean, as long as you're not doing it in a spammy way, you should be fine.
Yeah, I haven't had that happen.
Okay.
I think it depends on like
It also
Facebook
depends on
probably
the
has some,
group,
yeah.
right? Yeah, I mean,
Like if your
ER's
group
on,
says no
ER's on Facebook
soliciting,
so often.
I mean, if your group has rules and it says no soliciting, and the only
Right.
thing posting in there is solicitations, I could understand a group saying, Greg, it's time to cut it out. But if you're saying like, hey guys, I created this greeting card and I wanted to share greetings and good tidings with everybody, here it is, click on it. I don't think, as long as you're working within the rules
The
of the
group
group.
rules. Yeah, because
Right.
there's some groups that literally say no links, and so obviously you don't want to post it there. It'll just get kicked out by the group moderator. But to Danielle's point, may not be pulled up favorably by Facebook. So I mean, I wouldn't use it as a means to an ends, but it's definitely something just to add in as something else to share.
Yep. Also, Rose Michelle or Danielle, I think actually had some good points on here with posting links. Consider posting your message out to everybody and then posting your link in the comment. And that could be a strategy to separate it out from the original post, because I would agree with her comments. The goal of any website is to keep you on the website, guys. Like the number one goal, it's time spent on the site. You know what I mean? If you're on Google, the more you're on Google looking for stuff, the more sponsored ads they can serve to you. If you're on Facebook, the more you're scrolling through, the more sponsored ads they get to show to you. So they might dock you for posting a lot of links that might take viewers off of time spent on Facebook. So there are certain strategies and techniques like the comment post, or even posting your link in other people's comments, right? The leader of the group says happy Thanksgiving, right? The leader of the group says that, wishing everybody in the group a happy Thanksgiving, and your comment back might be, thanks so much. I want to wish everybody in the group happy Thanksgiving, and here's my Thanksgiving card.
Yep. Great ideas. What's up, Ruben?
Okay, beautiful information, guys, for the video and all. So now you're a brand newbie and you go, this is phenomenal stuff. Where do I see all these videos? What do I type? LFI.corporate, YouTube. Come on, guys, we got to have something very simple, a push button thing like we do for this beautiful class that we have. Because we'll create a neat little button and put it in Insiders under the tab says resources or files or whatever. And that way we can go over there and boom, 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 we're right in with you.
And if you're looking for any of those links specifically, guys, remember they're always at the bottom of the Week at a Glance card. I think most of us use this card, but we don't realize that if we scroll down Facebook for the group, facebook.com/GoLFI, the YouTube channel, the other Facebook Insiders group, Instagram, and the affiliates group are all on here. But Ruben, I appreciate that feedback. We'll make sure to update the groups themselves, the resources as well, to include those to make them a little bit easier to find.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Again, I think that's part of it where we all work together to support each other, and that's part of being part of the LFI community. I love the idea of us talking about all of these generic holidays where we can all be using templates to extend our outreach. Kathy, we've had this conversation a bunch of times, but I keep having this, my network is my net worth theme chiming in my head all the time. And I need to, one, extend my network, and two, work my network. So all of those touch points play a huge role. And this is probably the best tool to do that with. So
100%. I will definitely, Ruben, once I figure out how we're going to post those the templates for the corporate templates, I'm going to be posting like an example and then the template code, an example and the template codes. We'll get those all, in one place for sure.
Thank you.
One last question. Hold on, chat. I saw something pop up.
I saw Danielle, I'm gonna post this is the week at a glance card that I'm using. I don't know if you've used the bit.ly link at all for that. I know there's a bit.ly WAG link as well.
Shuffle WAG, yep.
Yeah, this is the hyperlink that I have. I don't know if that's because it's in Doug Demo's stack and that's the card link for it, but I do know that I just open up the week at a glance card, and somewhere on my mobile browser or on my desktop browser, there's always a tab that has that open so I can grab it at any time. All of the Zoom links are going to be on there, all of the social links. So that week at a glance card for everybody, it's a very powerful resource for you to use yourself and for you to share with others.
I just keep it on my screen. Pop it open. I even have to use it. Very good. Yeah, there was an original version. This is the new version. This is the updated version.
Yeah.
Well, fantastic. I know we went a little long today. Thanks everybody for hanging in. Oh, wait, Joe has one more last question. We'll finish it out, Joe.
Yeah, I do. Now, when I go to shuffle on my phone, I see my original card, but when I scroll over to the free card thing that I made, it says no title. It's like blank, no title. It's got a picture of nothing, nobody in there. It says shuffle, 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 and that's it. It shows up on the computer, but it does not show up on my phone when I scroll over it as a made card.
Well, here's what I would recommend, because we're out of time on Tech Tuesday. I would say go on ahead and send out a quick email to support at Elify. If we need to line up a one-on-one Zoom to go through it directly, I'd be happy to do that. And then we can dig in specifically to resolving any issue that might exist there. The only thing I'm thinking is maybe re-editing it or checking some of that type of stuff out. But yeah, if it's a bug, we'll work to get that fixed, but we have to first figure out what is going on. So
do a support ticket?
Yeah, I would do support at elify.com. And we can put that in the chat if anybody has that.
Got it.
Support. Kathy just put that in. Just shoot an email out. That way it's in the ticketing system and we can keep a log of it as well. And if it does result in some bug that needs to be resolved, we can get that over to development. If you are filling out that support ticket, please make sure you're providing your account email address if it's not or different than the one you're sending through. And any type of screenshot or card link is beneficial. Sometimes we will get these support tickets that are like, I'm having trouble. And it's like, okay, we hate to hear you're having trouble. Then we have to reach back out. What are you having trouble with? Right? Oh, okay. So the more context that you or anybody you know who's having any issue can provide to us, the better we are able to dig into it without a bunch of round trips. Our number one goal is resolve things as quick as possible if there are issues.
I could do a screenshot of this, no problem.
Yeah, a screenshot and the link to the card. That way we can open the card. We can go into the account and see what a card it is. We can exactly find that.
Well, it's kind of like, when you take your car in, well, when Chris takes our car in, he's like, hey, the, thing is not connected to the thing, where I'm like, I have no idea. It's just making this noise. Right. So it's the same thing with our support, with our development team. If we're just like, hey, there's a problem with this, they're like, well, where would you like us to start? Yeah. So the more information that you guys can send, screenshots, videos, specifically, I took this step, and it broke. That way we're giving them the exact map to follow to find the broken part. They can fix it a lot faster.
Right.
All right. Much easier to find the missing period in a sentence in a book when somebody tells us which page number it's on versus just saying, hey, there's a missing period somewhere in that book, We'll
leave that one to ER.
That's right.
All right, y'all have a fantastic rest of your week. Go have some great time with some family and friends. And what's next week? We'll be back. We'll be back next Tuesday. And
Yep, no more calls going on for the rest of the week as housekeeping. Usually we'll do our Wednesday or our Thursday or our Friday. Big happy holidays to everybody. Go get stuffed or whatever you do with you and yours. And Will Skill and Refill over the weekend. We'll be kicking off Monday sprint planning on
ready
Monday.
for the holidays, the next holiday.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Yep, guys, 10% of the year is left. Remember this, 38 days left till the end of the year. Do not be one of those people who checks out for the rest of the year. I know there's an urge. I'm already seeing it within my neighborhood of people are just like, I'm done. Let the other 10% go by the wayside, guys. This is where we separate and the cream rises to the surface. Stay on, check out for the holidays and do that type of stuff, but stay on it, and that'll set you up for success as we go into 2023. So we will see everybody next week. Thank you so much.
Bye, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye, Kathy.
Bye.